today I'm going to be showing you how to make my 20-minute red sauce that can be used for so many delicious dishes. We're going to start with a can of whole tomatoes. Now, this is a can from Sam's. It's not my favorite brand, but we're going to make it so delicious you'll never know. In case you were wondering, my favorite brand is San Marzano tomatoes, or if you could find the Muir Glen, that one's even better. But what we're gonna do is I've pulled all of the whole tomatoes. Well, look, I missed one. Pulled all of the whole tomatoes out and put in the blender. And I'm going to turn the Vitamix up to about 4, and I'm gonna blend it just a minute. I like it more of a fine, not necessarily, it's more of a puree. And we're gonna add that in addition to these other great ingredients. That's another thing that's really great about this recipe. It literally has 5 ingredients. Well, technically it could have more. We wanna add salt and pepper at the end to taste. And if you wanted to kick this up with a little bit of crushed red pepper, that would be an additional. But really the easiest and simplest red sauce probably that you will ever make is right here.
We're going to be using a Dutch oven today, but you can use any kind of stock pot you would like. We're going to start off with 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I've got about 5 cloves of garlic here. Now I'm going to crush them in this crusher. I love using the crusher. Make sure you get all of it out of there. You don't want to leave any of that goodness behind. Now the key to this is what I'm doing right here. We're allowing the butter and the oil to melt. We're making sure that the garlic is starting to bubble and really starting to extract itself into that butter. In addition, we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and that is a dry Italian seasoning. A little bit of salt and pepper at this point. Don't add too much. We can add more in the end to taste. It's kind of to your preference. Now at this point, we're going to let it bubble just a little bit. We want to really bring out those flavors. After we've let it bubble a while, and that probably about a good 2-3 minutes, go ahead and add the tomatoes that you pureed. Now, probably wondered about the rest of that was in the can. We used all of it, so what I pureed and the juice that was left behind. We're going to go ahead and cover that now. We're going to let it sit and bubble away now for about 20 minutes. Maybe not quite 20 minutes, it's more like 15 minutes. And if you want to go ahead and go for it, add a little bit of red pepper at the end. And then you can also taste it again and see if it needs to be seasoned with salt and pepper. I've already tasted mine, so I know it needs a little bit more. I'm heavy-handed when it comes to the salt. So, and my husband loves the pepper, and we try to find a good compromise there. But basically, this is done.
Now the red sauce is deliciously finished. You can cook it a little bit longer than 20 minutes if you like. If you do cook it a little bit longer, it will thicken up a little bit. I also added a good bit of crushed red pepper. So that is the way that my family loves it. Now I'm just going to spoon it into these jars, let it cool, and put these in the refrigerator. If you want to put it in a pressure canner and can it, that is up to you. You would want to follow all of the rules of canning. This will not last in my house to can. We will literally eat this probably within the next week between soups and pizza and pasta. So this is a very versatile sauce that can be made into a number of things.
Well, with what we have made today, we have about 3 quarts, and that will get you quite a few dishes. So just check and see what your dish calls for. But we actually are going to be using ours on meatballs. Made a bunch of meatballs. We're going to have spaghetti and meatballs, or maybe even meatball subs. So that's delicious. Right over that, I'm making some stuffed mushrooms, as well as my homemade pizza that my family just loves. And you can even make some homemade tomato basil soup. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe. Let's do this again real soon.